Kansas that were very pleasant today. However, we are looking for a new front to begin to drift south and eastward. The central and eastern parts of Kansas will very probably be cloudy in the morning, and then western Kansas will begin to get increasing cloudiness by tomorrow afternoon. Today, however, very, very pleasant reading. 73 up in the Goodland area, 72 at Garden City, 70 reported by Dodge City and Liberal, 72 over by the good folks of Garden. And in the Ponca City Blackwell area, 68 degrees today. Winds southerly at about 15 with gusts of 25 miles an hour. Barometric pressure 30.00 and is rising. And no precipitation. We're about a half inch behind, a half inch ahead for the year, and 1 5300ths behind for the year so far. We'll be looking for a little bit of a change tomorrow, and of course the possibility of some scattered showers. Today, of course, there's nothing showing up on the radar. However, the satellite photo was pretty interesting for the western half of the U.S. Rain showers and thunder showers along that frontal system, and that wide band of fairly heavy snows. Now, what will happen each time that you see the frontal system on there, that begins at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then you'll see the cloud pattern move until 2 o'clock this afternoon. So as of that time, of course, the front was way off in the northwest. Now, however, it's moving into the central part of the nation with a couple of high-pressure cells behind it. low pressure and fairly heavy band of rain showers and snow all the way from the eastern portions of Montana down to western sections of Nevada. And of course the massive high picking up warm moist air from the south, bringing it northward. So when the two masses collide over Kansas, we are looking for some precipitation, and we'll talk about that.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Strange Planet Podcast.
No, we're good. We're not good.
We good?
All right, now we're good.
Are we on?
Yes, we're on.
Okay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen,
Alright,
to the
that's
Strange
enough.
Planet Podcast, the strangest of all the podcasts
Christ.
on the strangest of all the planets. We are your hosts. This is
Corey James.
and
James May.
I'm Anthony Zavatek. Thanks for hanging out with us. How's everybody's week?
Fantabulous.
Here ye. It's good week.
It's all right.
Okay week. It's
been okay.
It's okay so far.
There you go. I mean, week from last cast to this cast.
Yeah, it was fine.
Still,
Hey.
I'm
Last
gonna
weekend was
do
cool.
this.
I like that. There's special appearance by our tiniest fan.
Had to give her her lolly.
Oh yeah.
Lolly, you gotta have one.
Tiny fan Stella. I love it. Thanks for tuning in on the YouTube. Make sure to leave us a like and a comment and tell James how much you hate him, and he might
Please.
respond.
You're probably right.
He might respond. That'd be pretty funny.
That would be pretty funny.
We got a great show today. We're gonna roll right into it, but we are gonna start off on a down note. This
How
past
we roll.
Friday- What's that?
That's how we roll.
That is how we roll. Last Friday, Chadwick Boseman passed away at the age of 43. Of course, if you're a fan of this show, then you know Chadwick Boseman as King T'Challa, the Black Panther. If you're a fan of great movies, then you know who he is as well.
You know, I've never seen any other movie with him in it.
I have seen so
Wasn't he-
many of his movies.
Was he
Jackie
Was it
Robinson.
20 Years a Slave? Was that him?
No,
No.
that was
20 Years a Slave?
that was Chitwell Ejiofor.
Oh shit, you're right. My bad. What else was he in? He was in. I've seen him in a historical film.
Chadwick, he played Jackie Robinson in 42.
Okay, yes, that's. I forgot about that.
He played James Brown in Get On Up.
Get
That's
on up.
what I was thinking about, because I knew there was a super. Like, yeah. Never mind.
And in 2017, he played Thurgood Marshall in the movie Marshall.
Okay.
3 of his most prominent roles alongside of Black Panther. So we found out in a statement that was released by his family that he had been diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer in 2016.
Crazy how these actors do that shit. Like, stay healthy and ripped through
Right.
freaking dying from cancer, and no one would ever know. Ever.
You're none the wiser at
Right.
all. Like, honestly, if you watch the cast, you know I'm not big into comic book movies, but I really liked Black Panther. Like, it's
Right.
It was a decent
one
one.
of my top ones. I liked it. It was good.
Yeah. Right. And 2016 stage 3, and it progressed all the way to stage 4. And in that time, he did Black Panther, and he did Marshall, and he did Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. And he had several more movies slated to come out. He had 2019, he had 21 Bridges. 2 weeks ago, or back in June, Da 5 Bloods was released on Netflix, Spike Lee directed movie, and then he has one that's yet to come out. So this guy continued to work, keep in shape, do press, meet with fans, all while undergoing one of the most difficult things any person could ever go through.
And colon cancer's especially rough.
Right, and he's got
one of your worst, next to like pancreatic and shit,
right.
or high levels of leukemia. That's not an easy one.
Yeah.
You know? Not that any of it's easy, but there are ones that are easier.
Right. Oh, yes. Started out on television. I mean, his first acting role was on the television show All My Children.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Yeah. And it's funny, the character that he played on All My Children, Michael B. Jordan, who was also in Black Panther, eventually took over that role whenever Chadwick Boseman left.
Yeah, I saw something where Michael B. Jordan said that they were friends since like they were like 7.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Michael B. Jordan. His statement was kind of probably probably hit me the most. He just simply said, like, "I wish I had more time." You think that's what all of us, look back at.
Yep.
Real quick, I just want to read a statement given by a great fan of the show, Harrison Ford. He starred alongside Chadwick Boseman in 42, the Jackie Robinson movie, where he played Branch Rickey. And he was speaking with the Hollywood Reporter. He said Chadwick Boseman was a compelling, powerful, and truthful as the characters he chose to play. His intelligence, personal dignity, and deep commitment inspired his colleagues and elevated the stories he told. He is as much a hero as any he played. He is loved and will be deeply missed. I mean, that's Harrison Ford, the guy, the angriest man on the planet.
Right.
So if that doesn't mean something for how amazing Chadwick Boseman was, I don't know, what is going to say that.
Absolutely.
Agreed. I like the Disney statement today about, we're not worried about Black Panther 2 and not even thinking about that at the moment, like.
Right. Yeah.
Let's just
it's
focus
too
on
much,
right.
And the statements from Michael B. Jordan, Lupita Nyong'o, Ryan Coogler, Kevin Feige, Chris Evans. I mean, and they were all, I've not heard a bad thing said about that man. I don't think he had it in him. I think he's genuinely one of the best people out there, and to lose somebody like that at 43, that is rough, to say the least.
Yep.
So, Chadwick Boseman, we'll miss you. We'll miss you a lot.
Yep.
And
This
also,
sucked
real quick,
for the character. Not to get away from the heaviness of it, but just that character finally got light. Finally got a spotlight shown on it that it's never had before, and he took it into that light and made it real, and that's rough. Like, for that character in general, like, everybody's saying what happens with the future of that, are they gonna replace him? But like, nobody's gonna want to.
Well, okay, on the inverse, in the light of, like, since he is such a pro, he could, like you said, well, okay, we say he's gone too soon. In the in comic book fashion, why not just make it a legend where it can just continue on?
Well, that
there
is
a next
in
one.
that story.
Because in that movie that I saw, I don't know the legend of it or the lore or whatever, but in that movie, he's fighting to be the next one.
Right.
Yeah.
So then there can always be you like, there's a precedent now. It's been set.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
So you could do it, and not to replace, but to revere.
Right.
In the comic books, the main person who takes over the Black Panther mantle is his sister, Shuri.
Okay.
The smart girl.
Right.
The
which
fists.
would be great, because I like she was great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But it's like, it's untimely because Disney kind of backed themselves into a corner with that, because if we're all remembering the Black Panther movie correctly, which I just rewatched it the other night, all the flowers get destroyed by Michael B. Jordan except for one, and that gets used to give it to T'Challa.
Right.
So they'd have to write in, of course, something where Shuri develops a synthetic and something like that. Right. Yeah, something like that.
It's not that far-fetched.
It's
that's pretty. It's pretty good.
All right.
Real quick before we move on to the next, I just want to say quickly on just, this is all basketball related real quick, but Clifford Robinson played for the Nets. He passed away this week, and John Thompson, one of the best African-American college basketball coaches of all time, passed away early this week in his 80s. Two also very sad things there. So, from all of us at the Strange Podcast, we honor and respect and love Chadwick Boseman, and always will.
Pretty sure he wanted to kill anyone that did the Wakanda Forever symbol
Wakanda
to everybody that did it to him. He just looked like he wanted. He was like.
Well, he did. I listened to an interview that he did the other day, and he always hated whenever people would say, like, "Hey, do the thing," but if somebody did it to him, and he would gladly do it back.
Gotcha.
So I'm sure when you're at a press junket and you got 50 reporters yelling, "Do the thing," yeah, that probably gets a little tired.
Remember that one thing you did in that movie?
Do it. Corey,
What?
why don't you go ahead and tell us about our next? I am interested at what you are, what we're getting at.
Oh, I just saw a picture on the internet the other day of some artist who made a. So if you watch Alien, we're all big fans of the Alien franchise. Once you get past the first one, you start learning more about the xenomorphs and all that stuff. And they bind to whatever host's DNA they are and become a different form of xenomorph. So, like, because it bound with human DNA, that's why it looks like it's an upright walking, like, humanoid creature. Right. And then I think in the third one, it bonds with a dog's DNA, and we have the dog xenomorphs. So you start seeing that they can be different animals your DNA bound, because you see him in what is that, Covenant, where it binds with plant DNA and it releases the little spores and stuff, so it comes in a different form. So anyway, what would be, out of anything, real or fictional, what creature or animal would you want in xenomorph style?
Would I be that thing? Would it
No.
be like...
No, like what the xenomorph looks
can
like,
you
but
make?
it binds with... The picture that I saw was a Pikachu xenomorph. And it was really cool looking, and I was like, man, could you imagine? Because they show you, like I said, they show you dogs, they show you people, they show you a plant. They show you the squid thing, the squid alien thing at the end of Prometheus. That's another one.
Am I using
different
this
forms of
xenomorph for my own gain?
No, this is just for fun.
Oh, okay. Well, for fun,
Like a kangaroo xenomorph.
if I'm going real, I would go hippopotamus, because I think that would be the
That'd be
trippiest thing.
horrifying.
Yeah, terrifying. And if
Like
I'm
an
going
elephant.
If I'm going fictional, I'm going Godzilla.
Oh my
Could you
god.
imagine a Godzilla xenomorph?
Kaiju, Xeno Kaiju.
Yeah, that'd be insane. Those would be mine.
James.
Man, I have so many.
Could be like, I was trying to think of fictional like characters, and I don't even like. I have no idea fictional characters. Just too many.
Okay, like think
Edward Cullen.
when I first read that, I thought like it would be cool to see just take like a wolf human xenomorph,
Like a werewolf.
but
In
not,
xenomorph form, like
but in
alien
xenomorph
form.
form. Yeah, like to where it looks like
That'd be
that.
wicked.
That would be pretty cool.
No one would be
Because
scared.
that's because I thought about what would I want to I want to be, and not even like wolf. Do like big cat. That's cool. Big cat and human.
Cheetah xenomorph.
Right. You're like super fast and can climb shit like mad.
That's terrifying.
So you just
like
you just made me think. Well, you just made me think of. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a question here, James, because I think. Okay, so in the prequel movies, they teach you that you learn that he created the xenomorphs. No, he didn't create the xenomorphs. The creators created the xenomorphs to wipe out humanity.
Right.
But what did they create
The
them
architects.
with?
Isn't that what they're called?
Is what I'm saying. Like I think you're alluding that they were already made from human DNA, which is why you keep saying human cat or a human
Right.
this. But they weren't. Xenomorphs are their own thing.
Yes.
So why would they have human in them?
Well, no. Okay, I didn't know that there was the preface. I thought it was just anything.
Oh yeah, we could splice them.
that it
Fuck it.
already existed. But no, okay, if we're going in the alien mythos to that with David and everything anyhow, and if we get another one, which probably not, that'd be cool.
Not gonna happen now.
I would like it, but never gonna happen because you can't. But I want for it to be that only the knowledge of it comes from David. It's so weird. Like when I watch Prometheus and then Covenant, I'm like, there's the only way the knowledge is, it's almost like the knowledge surpasses. So he created humans. Like it's almost like a Matrix thing.
Oh, okay. So the goo, I got that backwards. I apologize. So the goo is the goo. The goo binds with DNA and then
Right.
becomes something else. So he's the first one that took the goo and bound it with the human DNA, which
Right.
created the xenomorph.
Exactly.
My bad.
Right. So like
Straighten
with
me out
that
there.
creation there,
So they would have human in it no matter what, even when it bound with the next
Right.
DNA-based life form,
And I
which is
think
really
that's
weird.
Why I always think of the connection to where it comes back to where he created everything. Because with the whole
Well,
where
yeah, with
he's
the embryos
standing
and shit.
and doing the poem and all of that, it's like, okay, it gets a little more convoluted than you would.
This
want
is
it
a
to
real
be.
stupid question because the third movie is so effing bad, no one should ever ask questions about it. But then why did it change into a dog when it came out of the dog's stomach?
Are you thinking of the right movie?
Yeah, in the beginning of the third movie, when the ship crashes into the prison,
Dude, I haven't watched that in so
a
long.
dog. Unfortunately, I have.
I don't care.
You know-
about it.
I remember the dog from The Thing. I remember that.
No, I don't even know if I ever
The dog
the
from
the new thing or the old, original one.
The original Thing. The
Oh,
only.
okay.
No, it comes out of the dog.
No, it is a xenomorph dog. There are xenomorph dogs in the third one.
And I can't. I need to watch it again. Jeez. That's Resurrection, right? You're talking.
No, she hasn't died yet. She dies at the end of the third one.
Oh, I thought.
Xenomorph.
Because it's
Xenomorph.
Alien.
It's just Aliens 3.
And then isn't it Oh, there's Alien 3. I thought it was.
And then it's Aliens Resurrection,
Okay,
and then
that's 4.
yeah, Resurrection's where they clone
Okay,
her and bring
that's-
her back, and then there's
that's
that weird
why.
white alien.
Because Resurrection's kind of like pointless anyhow. In 3, you're still like, I want this to be okay.
They killed that little girl off screen. Poor Newt.
Newt.
Can you see? Is that what we're talking about?
I mean, sure. I can't remember what they looked like, honestly.
I think they look like that.
The one on the right looks like it's from Resident Evil.
Yeah, I think that's just the dog without the helmet.
Oh, okay.
And then next to that, you see them with.
Hey,
the
we're
helmet.
getting a Resident Evil Netflix series.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
heard
we can
about
move
that.
on. We can move on.
I never really cared for the Resident Evil
Hey,
games. I thought Apocalypse
you can
was
suck
really good. I thought Apocalypse was really good. The one where they're in the desert.
I know
in
which
Las
one it
Vegas.
is, and that's the one that
Oh,
everybody likes the least because nothing happens in it.
I like that one with the birds. I like that. I'm a fan of that one.
I like them all.
Corey, we have not heard your xenomorph.
Oh, I don't know, like a platypus, or like a frog,
The frog.
something weird that would look off the wall and be real tiny.
What about a bird?
A bird xenomorph would be wicked.
like an ostrich xenomorph.
Oh my god, an emu? That would be
An emu.
horrifying.
Already terrifying animals on their own.
Emus will kill you for no reason.
I don't fuck with birds taller than me. That's it. I'll punch
Right.
any other bird, but if it's taller than me, I'm
I
not
watched.
I'm gonna
Okay,
run away.
so we're gonna go
Run
on a
away.
weird little flashback story for young Corey James. When I watched my neighbor's emus got out, and we're in my yard, and my parents called the neighbors and said, "Hey, we got emus in our yard that are yours." So the dude comes driving down from the house above us, straight down through my front yard, in a tiny little like Dodge like Spirit, and tackles and wrestles this emu to the ground, ties its feet, and then shoves it in the back seat of this
You're
little.
kidnapping? It sounds like a kidnapping.
No, it was like a straight up fight. Like this dude tackled this thing and beat up this emu and tied its legs up and then shoved it neck first into the back of the tiny little Dodge Spirit's back seat, closed the door, and drove home. It was the weirdest thing ever.
That's awesome. I love that.
But you'd have to know
Shark-
my neighbors.
Shark xenomorph? Does anyone want to
Oh
mess
my
with
god,
that?
a whale?
No.
A whale xenomorph? Ooh. That's all terrifying.
It's
to think
even
about.
weirder to think because when I thought
Think
about
a
them,
snail xenomorph. Is it slow?
it's like its tongue comes out
You know
real
what I
slow.
mean? Like, is it slow or a sloth xenomorph? They're just like,
You'd be at least be able to
you
see
know, all
them
it
and
gets
get
is
away.
The thing that comes out of its mouth.
Yeah, that's what I
That'd
said. It
be
would come out
terrible.
real slow.
That's it.
I-
It goes. It's just like slowly opens, and you're like, all right, man, are you coming?
All right.
I'm coming.
Have you guys seen the movie Zootopia?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that joke.
I think of the sloth from the
It's-
DNC.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Dina Moore.
classic. I feel like
Yep.
that movie wasn't amazing, but that scene is really good.
It was.
There's a lot of great scenes.
Well,
There
it
are.
was-
I think
There
that's
are.
That
It
was one of
is,
those off to the
but
side animation movies that, like you said, they had great stories, but they were. I don't even know what company did that, because it
I
wasn't.
think it was just Disney. I think it was Disney.
Yeah, it wasn't
without
Pixar. Yeah, because
Right.
Pixar's like a sub company of
Yeah,
them.
Pixar's their own company.
But like
and
you
then-
think about like movies like that, The Good Dinosaur, all these movies that got half-assed with the animation, but are fantastic stories and movies
Mhm.
Right.
that never got. I never even knew what The Good Dinosaur was until it came on randomly on cable one day, and I was watching it, and I was like,
That's a really good.
it looks
movie.
like someone made it like in high school and forgot to put anything in the background.
There you go.
But it's a great movie.
Nice.
Shut up,
Xenomorph
James.
Animals. Comment below and let us know what animal you would want to see as a
Anything.
xenomorph.
It could be a plant.
Anything. Could be a bathroom.
It could be Bender from Futurama.
Could be Ferris Bueller.
It could be Ferris Bueller. Or Inspector Gadget, but as the dude that plays Ferris Bueller.
Matthew Broderick.
Yes.
Gotcha. Moving on, we're going to talk about another terrifying thing. It is being reported that there will be a live-action Powerpuff Girl movie. Do you like that segue?
No, it's a series.
It's a series?
Yeah. It's a Netflix series, I think, and it is happening.
Is it animated? Oh, no, it's
No,
live
it's live action, and I believe they're supposed to be like teenagers at this point. They're not little girls anymore.
Well, of course. Like it. Just whatever.
James.
I mean, the show's fine. It's like entertaining. There's the angry one, the one that cries and shit. Like
Buttercup,
fine.
Blossom.
I don't know. I didn't watch much of it, but I've seen it.
Or no, Bubbles. Bubbles was the one that was a whiny.
Bubbles, yeah. Like
real quick, it is not Netflix. It's going to be on the CW.
Oh, that's even worse. It's
yeah,
gonna crash and
wow.
burn.
then why? Who
It would
put money
Who put money into that?
into that?
Oh, actually, you know what? If they do this right, according to this little bit of a story, like a little synopsis that I have, if they do it right, I think this could be really cool. The show would follow Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup as disillusioned 20-somethings, resentful at losing their childhood to fighting crime, and faced with the choice of reuniting when the world needs them more than ever.
Okay, so here's the question, and the only question that matters.
Okay.
And if it's a no, then the show is already dead before it. Yeah, so. Is Mojo Jojo in it?
He damn well better be.
Or the Gangrene Gang?
No news yet. I mean, August 24th is when they announced that it was happening, so I'm sure they don't even have a cast yet.
No news is good news.
Yes.
Anybody listen to the new Front Bottoms album?
No,
I didn't know there was one.
It's really good.
Huh.
that's what you said.
Fuck you, James.
I mean, sorry.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Hey, look at Mr. Polite. he's so polite.
I'm so sorry.
All right, how many episodes of the Powerpuff Girl television series will you watch? James, go.
One.
There you go. Corey?
I don't have any CW, so.
Yeah, so none.
None.
Yeah, I don't have cable, so I can't. Never mind.
I will watch them all, and I will get tattoos of each character.
Well, you could do that now.
I could do that.
How many tattoos?
Show's
do you
been
have?
out. 0.
How many tattoos do I have?
He has one right under the tip of his dick.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
You know, it's like weird. I feel like I'm an outcast.
Yeah, we're the minority.
It's so true.
I don't have one. I never
Yeah,
got one.
shut up. You have my name tattooed on your arm. You shut the fuck up.
What about that do not resuscitate tattoo you have on your bum bum?
That's the only one that matters.
There it is.
That's the only one that matters. Oh god.
You know,
I've never seen that one.
No,
that's
you.
Show that one to me next time.
No, you. That's like personal. Only people that know my body know that one.
I know your body.
No, you don't.
You're right.
Your body is a wonderland.
Damn straight.
Is that John Mayer?
It is John Mayer.
There you
Actually, it's Anthony Zvetek, but
Isn't it Joe Mayer?
no.
go. No, it's Joe Mama.
No, I know it's.
Joe Mama.
Joe Mama.
God, we got gold here, guys. You see the TV? This massive TV
I
with
see
you
that.
guys on it?
Yeah, I can see myself. I was like, I think I can see me there.
I'm getting closer. Speaking, here's a good segue. Speaking of things that are going to ruin the Earth, like the Powerpuff Girls series,
We're all gonna die.
we're all going to die apparently because if 2020 couldn't get any worse, an asteroid is heading our way.
I didn't hear that
It is true,
until
but
today.
like most
To be
asteroids,
Fair, to be fair, over the last 10 years, there's been like 2 asteroids a year heading
Right.
our way.
this one's a little bit larger than normal, which is why it caught attention of people. But it is said that it will 100% burn up in the atmosphere. So
There you go.
To be fair, to quote Corey, we live in space. Like, we live on this planet, but there is anything and everything that could kill us at any
If
time.
an asteroid wants to end our existence, it damn well can.
one little
If
fart
the
from the
wants
sun
to be a
would
little,
just boom,
a
we'd be
little
dead.
hotter than it is as it is.
If our axis
it could
tilted
just
1
torch
degree.
us. Yes, it
Right.
will just torch us.
We'd all be dead.
You know.
What are the odds that they reunite the team of Bruce Willis, Ben Affleck, to go up there and blow this thing up again?
50 man.
55.
It's a damn
At
good
this
chance
point,
that
yeah,
will
50,
happen.
50.
Yeah.
50.
Bruce Willis will ride. Steve Buscemi.
When
will
Michael
be up
Bay,
Yeah,
re-
he'll be like, I'm not
Yes.
tipping.
he had to get,
We get it.
he
When
had
we
to
get up there, if there's any waitresses, I'm not tipping.
he had to
there.
get
I'm not
taped.
tipping.
And
I'm
he's-
not tipping.
Mr. Pink. As a Reservoir Dogs. Right?
Yeah, I got it, bruh.
Okay. Just letting you guys know.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I don't know why I hate you tonight.
There you go. I like how we started talking about an asteroid, and now we're on it.
No, dude. If Michael Bay runs out of ideas, you know where he's going. Armageddon 2.
Armageddon
Armageddon it on.
2.
That sounds as fun.
Armageddon it on.
Well, as long as they get Liv Tyler back and they play another Aerosmith song, we're golden.
Which Aerosmith song would you pick for, which pre-existing Aerosmith song would you pick for
Ragdoll.
Armageddon 2, Armageddon it on?
Ragdoll.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Ragdoll?
Yeah.
That's a good one. Crying might be good, and like in this version, everybody dies. So,
Jesus Christ.
I think in the sequel, the asteroid wins. I'm pretty sure that's how it's gonna go down.
What animal cracker will walk down her belly button this time?
It'll be a
Yeah, hippopotamus.
Xenomorph
Hippopotamus, absolutely. Dude, that's great.
That's called bringing it full circle there.
This is a podcast, baby.
I know that nobody else appreciates this as much as I do right now.
You know,
That's gold.
we got a very loyal fan base, and
That's
I think
true.
half of the views are probably just me trying to figure out how to watch the damn thing.
Absolutely.
What? You just hit play.
I know.
This time I even got the logo up there. I got pulling out the Woiks.
Wakes. I like wakes. What would you, if you had an asteroid as a pet, what would you name it?
Oh man, that's rough. Let me think.
Donovan.
Oh. I would go with Arthur.
That's gay.
you, man. How about you kiss my ass?
Arthur the Asteroid.
Sounds like a Hanna-Barbera character.
Those sounds. It's because Arthur the what is he? Anteater. He's not an anteater, is he? Aardvark. He's an aardvark.
Aardvark. That's the same animal.
An aardvark is not an anteater, is it?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so. An anteater has the trunk. An aardvark might have a trunk.
They do have trunks, but I think they're different.
Not an
I'm
aardvark.
on his computer already. I was like, I'll look at my phone.
Well,
Yeah, I'm not looking it up. I'm actually looking at naked pictures of the Arthur.
I'm gonna say.
I'm going to name
Hey, Google.
my asteroid.
Hey Google.
CS751.
Hey Google.
Ooh, that's got a nice ring to it.
Yeah, like
Is,
CS751. Just
Aardvark
like
the same as an
NASA
anteater?
would. You don't have. You
Right.
gotta classify it as
According
no
to
real name.
animals, how stuff works. Aardvarks are modified ungulates or hoofed animals with claws on their forelimbs. Anteaters have paws with large claws and have more fur than aardvarks.
Wrong. You are wrong, Anthony.
Well, there's a first time for everything. Damn it. Asteroids.
They are similar.
Look them up.
Which is weird. Asteroids or meteors?
What are you more afraid of, asteroids or meteors?
Well, meteors are going to hit the
Asteroids.
ground.
Yeah.
An asteroid isn't in our atmosphere.
See, that's crap. That's like me calling my.
Or no, I'm talking about a meteorite. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Meteorite.
You don't want to know where I was going to go with that statement.
Stalagmite, stalactite.
Stalactite. Stalactite. That's enough about asteroids for this week. More next week. Corey, if we're still here. Corey, why don't you tell us about our next topic, buddy?
Oh. Putting me on the spot here. Oh. So, good old Elon Musk, because he doesn't ask why, he just does.
Do you know what his full name is?
No. Musketeer?
Elongated muskrat. Crazy.
Makes sense.
sense.
It does make sense.
Makes sense.
No, he decided to put a neuro link to a computer into a pig's brain. He implanted a Neuralink into a pig's brain to see if he could do it, and it worked. They were depicting the pig's senses on a screen when it was eating and smelling. They were hooked to the part of his brain that was his senses from his snout.
So like snout function.
Yeah.
New snout function.
And basically, the big point, most of the time, the reason that Elon Musk seems to do things is because he has said that he is terrified of AI because he knows it's going to happen. He says, well, this is the thing. This is what he does. When he's afraid of something or he's afraid someone else will do it before him,
Right.
he thinks, well, I should be the first one to do it so that the stepping stone is coming off of me rather than somebody that I don't trust. So he tries to be the first at doing things. Like he said, he's terrified of AI. So he does this so that he's the first one to figure it out, maybe, so that he can, combat it or something. I don't know. But he's also...
Is he not gonna rest until the whole planet is the movie Ex Machina? Is that what we're doing here?
He also is working on another thing that he loves to do with all these things that he does. He tries to make them affordable. And he is working on a machine that will be able to implant one of these into your brain.
By force. Remember that, folks.
So basically, he's saying that, in the future, they'll have his machine, and it won't be in a doctor's office. It'll be in a corporation that owns these machines, and you can go in and pay for it, and you put your head in this white thing that he had a picture of, and it does it itself. What, in any world, how could the outcome not be bad from that?
Mind control and... I don't know. I don't want that.
Well, what he's looking at is
I'm a pretty progressive guy. I mean, look at my haircut, and I don't want that.
he's looking at, obviously he's looking at the positives. He's saying that he'll be able to map out if someone has like Alzheimer's and isolate those things and reprogram them and stuff like that. So
He's okay.
The money that will get thrown at that will be for medical research, basically, because at least in America, for what I can gather, or what I would think they would do, the government's gonna want to throw it at it, and I wouldn't think they're gonna go, okay, you can control people with fucking drugs. You know what I mean? So, like, when it comes to neural links like that, if the technology is to where it links senses to being able to record them and know how to process them, it's the next step into brain in a vat. But we're hundreds of years from that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, totally. When it's in its full, what I think of brain in a vat is.
Do you think, when you think of Brain in a Vat, do you think of Futurama? 'Cause that's what
I think of Krang.
Okay. Perfect.
You know,
from Dimension X.
or Super Krang. Yeah.
Well, that was just a android body.
Yeah, but he's still a brain in a vat. Yeah, I mean, he was a brain in a vat anyhow, but Super Krang, basically, because I still want to move around.
Well, he
So-
had the little like walker, chicken
You
walker.
know what I mean? Yeah, that's true. That's true. But no, my point is that it will be in its infancy, like it is already. The next step is just being able to hook it to a human.
Yeah, I think that's
see that then. Like that's the next step, to see if you can actually do that.
well, not
Which you
according to him.
can.
His next step is making it Bluetooth. So
They're gonna. I mean, who? Okay, so they're already testing it on humans, because you have to. You can't just be like, I'm gonna market this to people.
I'm going to market this to pigs.
well, they're
Right,
not.
Yeah, because the pigs can.
He doesn't
buy it.
usually. He doesn't. That's not usually his style. Like if you think about the Falcon, whatever, where he sent the Roadster into space, like that was just to see if he could do it. Like he didn't.
Right.
He doesn't usually market things to the government or to medical. He usually tries to. That's his thing, is trying to make it available to you or I.
Okay,
or
so
corporations.
What's the point then? What's the point then?
Well, then I don't think there's any
wanna-
point at the moment.
I want to put my cat's head into a thing and see what it looks at. I can already look at, dude. I looked into my cat's eyes last weekend and scared it to fucking death because I looked at it.
Well, you are pretty
into
scary
it.
sometimes.
No, well, you know, it was last weekend, Corey. I looked into its eyes and
I
scared
gotcha.
the fuck out of it.
I got it.
But my point is, you can interact with your animals that way. So you're not marketing this thing you can link a pig to.
I don't think he's
So-
marketing it at all at the moment.
Right. So there is no other marketability of that current technology other than
I think the only reason he mentioned the
Using it.
Bluetooth thing was just so there's not wires coming out of the side of the pig's head.
right. Right.
Not that he's trying to make it available for us at the moment, because there's no reason for it right now. He already, like you just said, it's so far away from being anything at the moment. They literally were celebrating because they saw a couple of zigzag lines that were telling them that the pig was smelling something,
Right. So you're
because they haven't
you're
even
actually-
remotely
the
began
point
to
is
understand
getting-
a brain.
Getting input from the brain.
Right. Well, the
Being
point
able
is
to
putting
now.
input into the brain eventually,
Right.
which is
No.
impossible.
No. If he is, because a lot of his, like you said, a lot of his programs are progressive and for the advancement of humans, and programming them is not really advancing them. It's just making something that is already they're
You're-
static.
You're thinking of actions or personality. I'm talking about physical things that are going on with the brain that are wrong with them.
Oh, okay. You mean for the disease fixing?
Yeah. Like he mentioned the Alzheimer's. He mentioned a bunch of different neurological diseases.
Depression at that point.
Yeah,
Because it's
chemical
a chemical
imbalances.
thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But when I was watching it, I was like, oh, dude, he's not even mentioning blindness. Like, to think about, you could literally wire those into, you could have that thing implanted in your brain, right? If your eyes are sometimes, like,
Functioning.
well, my dad, when he lost his sight, his retinas had no blood going to them for so long that they died. The cells, the tissue died. So they can't be repaired. But your brain is what takes those electrical signals and interprets them into a picture.
So if you put a camera there, you could see.
You wouldn't even need to do that. If you have that thing connected to the part of the brain that interprets the signals, you could just tell. Well, yeah, I guess you would have to have a camera to
You
tell
would have to
what
have
it
a
was
camera
looking at.
because the cells
Right,
aren't
right,
looking
right.
at anything. Yeah.
But yeah, you could literally, like, this webcam right now could be connected to my head,
And you
but
could
by
see.
Bluetooth, and it would be telling my brain what to interpret the signals of what it's seeing.
Right.
Yeah, that would be insane because they already were working on that like 10 years ago. I watched this thing
Well, they
about
do that with
sunglasses
hearing.
that went straight into a wire that went into the back of the dude's brain, and he could see black and white pixelated pictures. That was like 10 years ago. So I'm just saying they didn't mention
Scary
that,
stuff.
but I thought it'd be pretty cool.
It's overwhelming, the kind of way that technology is going. It's being pushed.
Yeah.
You know, it is. It gets us closer and closer to all the movies that we grew up watching. You know,
Skynet.
which is, mind-boggling.
Skynet is gonna be real.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
If the internet became sentient,
It
whoa.
already is.
No, I
Yeah,
mean
it
like,
already is. You
It
put
already
cookies
is.
and- yeah.
but like, really sentient.
It doesn't. It does speak.
Self-aware.
Right. Self-aware. Totally sentient. I got you. But it does speak for itself. It's so crazy.
It's
Yeah.
a. Oh man, it is. Talk about mind-boggling. Like, to think about what the internet is. Like, it's everyone on Earth essentially.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
every and more information that we've put into it, that every single person is putting into it, all the knowledge, it's just
All the bullshit.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the electrosphere. You know, the hippies talk about like the mentosphere, where there's this like cloud of thought. It's like the idea of prayer and whatnot. Like if a collective amount of people are thinking the same amount of things, then that's what it is. That's kind of what society is, anyhow. What do you deem or okay?
Right.
As the status quo. You know what I mean? The general outlook. So like with the internet, it has this presence, this ever presence. It's omniscient at this point. Like it has a constant presence in all of our lives. Like, how do you pay your fucking bills? I get on my phone and there it is. There it went.
Yep.
So like you do all of everything. I actually saw a video, and I know we have one more topic, but I saw a video that talked about how the internet is already taking over, like AI kind of already has, because the amount of information that people think they get or know they get, you know you get it, but is it correct?
Yeah. Well, we've talked
But
about that
just
before.
So long
Yeah.
as we have, but it goes into what I sent you, Corey, and we'll talk
Yeah.
about that later. And Zev, we'll talk about that. I got to send you something. We got one more topic. Which is kind of along the same lines of what is going to happen in the American future.
Right.
In the next 2 months.
Oy vey.
And we have spoken, if you have watched the podcast before, about how what happened would never happen, and then it happened, and here we are 4 years later.
Will it happen again?
Talking about it again.
Will it happen again?
Sitting here talking about it again.
If you haven't been able to figure it out by now, James May's talking about we have a little election coming up here in
Just a little one.
It's about 2 months' time.
Just a little one, right here.
Yeah, just a little one.
About that big.
Doesn't really
where
matter.
It will be President Donald J. Fuckhead versus,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What?
Racist bigot.
Biggest racist Donald J. Bigot. Donald J.
Uh,
Racist.
Donnie JT.
Versus Joe Biden, who is no Satan. I'm not, I'm not here to discuss that. I'm here to discuss. We're talking about predictions.
Hey, if you can't remember it, it didn't happen.
Donald J. Chode.
Donald J. Chode. I like that one. I don't know if anybody saw my Twitter page today, but I said there's 3 things I know about Donald Trump by looking at him: bad knees, weird penis, doesn't want to climb a mountain.
Can't climb a mountain.
Well, all those things probably...
Can't climb a mountain. So we're talking about some predictions.
You could have said that about a lot of people, though.
Yeah.
Oh, no, definitely.
Yeah.
James doesn't want to climb a mountain. I doubt his penis is pretty.
It's not.
It's not ugly. It's not ugly.
Oh, you would know, Anthony. You've only seen every dude's penis in town.
I have pictures of you guys' penises in my wallet. It's like when my children, it's like children, but
Peni.
Well, you better have kept that. I gave that to you for a reason.
What the hell? Peni. Not penises. Peni.
You're in a lot of trouble.
You're in a lot of trouble. Hey, Anthony.
Penis, urine.
Anthony.
What?
Penis, urine, Anthony.
What?
Are all of those terms synonymous?
That's that cognitive.
What are you if
that
you're
took
drinking?
a couple
What are
weeks
you if
ago.
you drink a
It
lot
was
of tea?
man, woman, camera, person, TV. It's just this time it's penis, urine, Anthony.
What are you if you drink a lot of
That's
tea?
it.
What you're in trouble or you're in what?
European.
European. He must be from France because he's a peon.
Yeah, but doesn't that joke go European?
Yeah, but I'm not.
Whatever.
Season 1, Robot Chicken. Get with it, kids.
All right, predictions. Let's go. What's gonna happen here in November?
So I read today about the Red Mirage. Anybody else read about the Red Mirage that's gonna happen? It's like this dude says that it is 98% sure gonna happen. So because of the mail-in ballot, most of the regular castings go through automatically, and they'll have the tally that night, like they always do.
Right.
The mail-in ballots are not supposed to probably, they're not expected to be tallied completely until 2 days after.
Right.
So they're going to announce that Trump won on the night of, which is the Red Mirage. He's going to declare victory.
Okay.
And then 2 days later, they're going to announce that he actually didn't win, and then it's going to cause a lot of problems. Because everybody's going to say he already won, it's fraud, it doesn't, blah, blah, blah.
That makes fucking sense.
Piss on that. You know what? All this Donald Trump mail-in fraud bullshit. Oh, yeah, it's fine for him to do mail-in voting for the past 20-something fucking years. Oh, no, it's fine. Oh, no, it's fine whenever rich white people want to do mail-in voting. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. But don't let everybody do it, because then that becomes a real fucking fraud problem.
Well, it's also said that the because there's like the poll that was taken was so many, like almost all the Republicans said that they are not doing mail-in vote, and almost all the Democrats said that they are doing mail-in vote. So you have that complete split. So you're going to see a landslide that night.
I'm going to the polls on the 3rd. I'm going. Fuck him. He thinks he can shut down the postal service. He can dismantle sorting machines. He can stop me. Fuck that. I'm going. I'll stand there with 20 other idiots wearing Trump shirts just to elect him out of office. That's just me, though. So,
James, you're awful quiet over there.
I don't really know.
That's probably the safest bet right there.
I can't say. It's too surreal at this point for me. I can't. Okay, my honest opinion is I don't think that Trump's going to win. That's what I think. Because I'm negative.
No, I think so too. I agree with you.
And the only reason is because there are people like me. I'm not voting. I'm not doing it. I've done it before. I've done it since I was able to vote, and I'm not voting. And
Why
you
not?
can call me a coward. Because I've given up. There's nothing that I can do.
Yeah.
It is not within my power to make anything change.
They're not giving us anything either.
I have no, honestly, because I honestly don't think that we need a regime change. Because I don't need liberal America coming at this with turning it into a failed communist state. We need social democracy, like Scandinavia and Canada and New Zealand. We don't need radical liberalism. We don't need give everybody everything. We need equal footing for all.
Right.
And that's not what the leftists of America are. And
No,
I
they
think
went way
that
hard.
It's too. I don't think Trump for 4 more years is good, but I don't know that it can get much fucking worse.
I think that if he wins,
It could get a lot worse. It could get hugely worse. Everything's gonna get worse. You're all gonna get worse. Nobody knows worse more than me.
his head's gonna get bigger, and the Democrats are gonna push harder.
Right.
That's the only, and it's gonna get worse because
So
you got 4 more years of fighting.
Maybe we do need the regime change.
That's the only reason that anybody's voting for Biden.
I don't think, and that's the point. I like to use the term regime because it's so combative. The bipartisan politics in America, and that's what I'm going to give the lead up to next week, because I've talked to Corey about it playing Call of Duty, and Zev, I will send you a link. we're gonna read the article and stuff, but there is a fellow who published an article in Rolling Stone about the unraveling of America and the end of the American era. His name is Wade Davis, and I've listened to 2 interviews, but the one is a little more extensive, and reading the full essay, whatever, will give us more insight. But it's just basically about how there is no real sense of community in America because to go back to social democracy, to where in New Zealand and Canada and Scandinavia, everybody has equal footing. You all have access to the same public education system that is equal and equally good. You have the same access to the same health care, up to the prime minister or president or the leader of that country. You're all earning a decent wage. And that sense of community comes out of just social conditioning,
Right.
of the condition of
Right.
society.
Not
And
being raised to think you're one or the other.
And there's also this thing that they talk about in those interviews that I'm not totally familiar with, but I will read up on, and it's the cult of the individual in America, and how like only myself and my family and my household matters. You don't know your neighbor. It's only for me.
This guy.
Only what's good for me is fine, and fuck you.
I mean,
And there's not that.
I do love you, James, but fuck you.
That's hold on. I know exactly. Like, oh man, he was great before he started falling apart. You know, like, if you see anybody falling apart, why let them fall completely apart? And that's kind of the point of the article. It's like, America is at this point. We're right on the fucking balance of. It's because there's no middle class. There's no ability. The idea of the middle class is the idea that the average is valid and viable, that the average can compete. You know what I mean? Like, that's the entire point, is that if the baseline is fucked, then everything is fucked. The baseline's got to be good, and that's why other countries are doing better than America. And that's why, with my point about the election is that it doesn't look good either fucking way. So I can't predict anything. I can't say that I want one or the other.
Right.
Because I don't.
I agree 100%.
Know. I don't know, nor can I even conjecture what the fuck will happen out of either. You know, is Trump gonna fucking kill every black person and brown person or fucking homosexual? Who the fuck knows? And is Biden gonna give everything to everyone that's like a minority or whatever? You know what I mean? Are we gonna go like total communism, and then the middle class that's just like, well, here I am, just like mediocre, are they gonna be fucked? It's like, you can't do one or the other. It's completely, and the majority of us are in the middle, regardless of race or orientation or gender or whatever. It's disgusting at this point.
Yeah.
Yup.
Corey, what do you have to say about any prediction real quick?
That's why I brought up the Red Mirage thing, because I think
Yes.
I think it's going to be 100%. When I heard that, I was like, yeah, that makes
sense.
So much sense that we're going to get a night of landslide by Trump, and then two days later they're going to be like, wait, Biden won by like 3%, and no one is going to have that. It's going to be an explosion of just upside on both sides, because everybody's going to be pissed saying that Biden won and he should be our president, and Trump's going to be like, I'm not leaving, I won. He already said he wasn't going to leave.
Co-presidents?
And if Biden wins...
Sounds even worse.
Everybody just wants Harris to be president, so, like...
Yeah, definitely. Well, the election, no matter what happens, you heard your predictions here first, and maybe this time we won't be so braggadocious as we saw in James today. And maybe we'll get even more braggadocious as we kind of saw with me today. But either way.
What is braggadocious, and what are we talking about?
Like bragging. Like,
who's bragging?
Like we were so confident.
In what, our last prediction? Yeah. Oh, I was confident last year, and I woke up with, like, sick to my stomach, like I was going to vomit.
That was 4 years ago. That's been a long time.
I'm sorry that I am astute in my ideals and opinions.
No, do it.
It's my apology that I offend you.
No, thank you. Thank you for apologizing. Real quick, before we end, I just want to keep saying, wear a mask. You know, this global pandemic isn't over. And, like, I know everyone's tired of it, and it's, like, it's been a long time, and things have changed, but it's not going away anytime soon if we all don't work together, do our parts, and all that stuff. Right? I mean,
I put mine on when I go in sheets.
Yeah.
That's about the only time. I don't really go anywhere else except for work.
Yeah. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Strange Planet Podcast, the strangest of all the podcasts on the strangest of all the planets. We have been your hosts. This has been
Corey James.
And
James May.
And I've been Anthony Zevitek. Have a strange day.
Yeah.